let's do a quick update. We're at 96, so it appears as we're going to be able to get to our target temperature relatively quickly. We're at 96. What I want to see is, you can see, if you can look down there, so we can see on that heater, you see the bubbles coming up, so we are heating up the temp. We got our flow going, so we know we got some flow going through the cap, and that's our aquarium pump there with the 1/2-inch hose. And we have two temperature gauges. You see them down there? Those are the temp probes. One came with the heater. So that's good. So we have two temp probes here. We're at one showing 95 degrees Fahrenheit. We just hit 97. So we're looking at to be able to hit 101, and we're looking for a cutoff. If you can get up to temp, then this experiment should be good to go. So another update. I really want this to work, so I think I'm gonna set my alarm clock to 6 in the morning. I was just looking at the spec for the pump. Max temp is 77 degrees, so we're a little bit over that, but it's still humming away. And I think I read on the reviews, some people have used this in the dead of winter time for at least three winters, and it's still running fine. So I'm hoping that 104 degrees Fahrenheit plus or minus a couple of degrees, hopefully that will be good. I don't see any evidence of leaks, so hopefully this bucket doesn't leak overnight and we have a fire hazard with that temperature running and there's nothing to heat it up. Hopefully you don't run into that, but and this doesn't cycle on that much. I mean, it shuts off at 104 degrees and then it rises up to like 106 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not like this is cycling on and off every few minutes. I think once we reach temperature, it stays at that temperature for some time. It's going to be inside the garage, so we shouldn't have to worry too much about and it's what I think it's like 70 or 80 size. So yeah, let me just I'm gonna let this run for 8 hours. I was gonna let it run for 2, but I really want this to work, so we're gonna let this run for 8 hours. Set the alarm clock to 6, get up, come back, shut this off, and then we can remove this, flush some, get the hose, flush it clean, let it sit and dry. I got work tomorrow, but try to get this back into the car and start driving the Kia, and hopefully I'm not going to reset the code. Hopefully the code will go away from itself. I'm not sure how many drive cycles need to happen before the computer decides if it's running at efficiency or not. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I'll see you guys in the morning. We have, I think we only have like 20 minutes to go. Hoping we have some type of chemical reaction going on. Hopefully. Let's see, we're at 105. 105. Can't really tell. I can feel the pump, so the pump is still running. I can feel the pump running. As far as settlement, I can't really tell. That stuff down there, I'll probably have to look at a previous video to see if that stuff was there before. I can't really tell. I have the pump on high. I don't think it's clogged up. I was able to get some, just a plastic bag. I stuffed it where that oxygen sensor is down there. So that stuff. But so we got I hope this works. Hopefully we're getting some type of chemical reaction going on. What do you guys think? Is it going to work or is it not going to work? Anxious to get this back onto the Kia and start driving it again. Hopefully the 420 goes away. So at this point, everything should be dissolved. There was no talk about flushing the system. Well, yeah, there was nothing in the report about flushing it out. I mean, I guess we could take the garden hose and flush it through, so I may do that after this is done. Bring this over to the garden hose and just flush it out for a minute. I guess we could do something like that. In case there's any loose sediment, we can get that flushed out. But we also know that the catalyst, it was white inside, so I'm curious as to whether it still would be white inside, or are we gonna see some type of color change. I don't know. Where's that fucking mosquito? But I guess I don't really know what's going on. Hopefully something's going on. So there's your update. At 106. So to get your solution dissolved, what I would suggest you to do is to use one of your gallon containers. Get some of your heated water, like a half a gallon, and then pour your solid, your acid, into the half a gallon. Shut it, shake it up. When you're shaking it, make sure the cap is away from you, so you're shaking it this way, just in case the cap comes out, the water will go that way. You don't want it to splash all over the place. And then once it dissolves, then you can dump it in. But we're starting the timer now. We're at 101, and we have flow. The reason why I know we have flow is because I can see some bubbles coming out. One thing that I did not do, guys, is I did not tape off the oxygen sensor, the lower oxygen sensor, nor did the upper oxygen sensor. That's fine, right? That's fine, but I did not tape off the lower oxygen sensor. So guys, when you do this, don't forget to tape off the lower oxygen sensor. But I still think I got enough flow. I don't think that's going to be a problem, and because I know I still got flow. I think if I move this a little bit closer, I think I still got flow. I don't think that's going to be a problem. That kind of sucks. I forgot all about that lower oxygen sensor, but I still think I got enough flow through the catalytic converter for us to have a successful experiment. So time is 9:45, 10:45, 11:45. By midnight, we should be able to stop this experiment. But yeah, I still think I got enough flow. You can see, we know we got flow. You can see particles moving around. I'm not sure, but you can definitely see stuff moving around, so we know we got flow. So the only thing is left to do is just to wait. Just have to wait until you look here. If you look at our gauge, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's turned back on, so we know we're heating up the solution. We know we're heating up the solution because you can actually see bubbles forming. You can actually see the bubbles forming at the heater. So that heater must be getting hot. The water is actually boiling on the coils. So you can see the flow right there. So yeah guys, the only thing left to do is we got a 2-hour wait. Yeah, I'm not too. There you go. If you look down there, that's the output for the oxygen sensor, but I think that tube goes past that output, so I think we're good. So come back in 2 hours, and then we can conclude the experiment. Look at that, guys. We are on the money with the weight. Wow, definitely underestimated. I brought 18 gallons. I only have 8 gallons of water in here, and we're at the top. So I think we're at, I'm not sure you can see, we're at 73.4 degrees. Again, we want to get to 101, and I got 104. If you can see down there, the heater is on. You can see the water heating up down there. You see the bubbles coming up. We have let's make sure that the hose is not on the heater, which is good. So we got the hose away from the heater. I just don't want that hose to heat up too much, but it's not touching the heater, so that's a good thing. I could move the heater around, but I'm just going to keep it there. I think that hose is above the heater. So another thing when you do this, do not touch the water. There's a shock hazard. Do not put your hands in this water while the heater's on. Unplug the heater, and then you can touch the water. So that's reading 72.5. So what we're going to do now is just go ahead and measure out a 1 molar solution of that oxalic acid and citric acid. Let's mix it together with a gallon, and then we'll pour that in. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So we're going to be using a total of 9 gallons of water. So we have to calculate a 1 molar solution for both of them. And we'll be back. It's late, but might as well do it now. Why not? So we're at 104. Shut off was 104, so this is shut off. So it looks like we have the correct setup. Eventually I'll give the Amazon link to the parts, but with this heater, this shop vac, about 14 gallons, we're able to reach a target temperature, so we should be ready to experiment. The pump is still running at 104, so we are good to go. Only problem is this extension cord is getting really hot, so I think I have a higher gauge extension cord for this heater, but I think we're going to hold. I don't think this heater is going to be on and off a lot. I think we're going to hold temperature well, just because we're also heating up that catalytic converter, so I think that's going to keep the water warmer longer. I doubt this will even cycle on within the 2 hours. So I think, yeah, we're ready to experiment. Look, at 105. So I think so. This is a quick update on the cat. We have the controller hooked up. Okay, so this is a controller. So this is a temp controller. It's going to control the heater, and we're just doing this with water now, just for a setup here. So as you can see, we have the start. This is our target temperature and our high. So hopefully this controller will keep the temperature up. We're at 89.2 degrees Fahrenheit, and you can see with the blinking sun, it's heating. So we're at 89. So this is just another temp. We're at 86, and this is reading at 89, but we're at different spots in the water. So we have our cat, our pump, aquarium pump there. We have the 1/2 inch pipe. So that pump is flowing through the top, and then hopefully we're gonna flow through the cat, and then we're exiting out of the bottom. None of the bottom openings are blocked off. We have some waterproof tape to keep this hose from moving around. So we're just doing a test run, and what I want to see is if we can get to our target temperature, which is 101 degrees. So this is showing 88.2 Fahrenheit, and we're at 90. So it appears this is working. I'll give another update in a few minutes just to see if we can reach target temperature before we actually do the experiment.